So I'm here on hot trigger. That means that it's the end effector is exactly configured for those snares to circle around and snare that pin. It's a long pin with like a golf ball at the end. So the arm is over the pin, the snares lasso it, so to speak, and then because of the golf ball at the end, it can't get out of this snares, and then it pulls it in. It sounds quiet here, but around the room, everybody's monitoring their systems, and especially the attitude control system of the space station. Is the space station still? Is the Cygnus still? Is everything in the right configuration? The next command will be the crew will tell the Cygnus to go free drift. That means it can't fire any jets. Right now, it's actually keeping itself in a small box, a certain specific place, by firing jets kind of forward and aft.
You don't want it to do that whenever you go to gaps.
Exactly.
Capture, right?
We don't want it to be firing jets. We want it to be as still as it can be, and so it's just going to have whatever motion it had when we told it to be free drift.
So again, we're just monitoring the situation here as the crew gets ready to reach out and capture Cygnus. Mike Hopkins is going to be using the arm to capture this cargo vehicle that's arrived at the International Space Station. Capture should take place at about 5:13 a.m. Central Time. And if that goes according to plan, unfortunately we will not have live video of it, but we'll have some graphics we can show you of where the robotic arm is. This is actually generated at the robo console here in Mission Control. And that should give us good situational awareness of where the arm and the vehicle currently are.
And Josh, I think they'll be ahead. There's the Dulles control room. Folks are watching.
Yeah,
basically, you know, their baby is in the crew's hands.
Yeah.
But I'm betting it'll be earlier than 5:13 because they're actually a considerable way through the checklist.
Good.
The next thing we'll hear is that they've achieved free drift.
Okay.
So you see that picture moving, and that's because the crew is actually moving their camera, and our graphic reflects those changes. And this is their orthogonal view, their view from the side, so they can see how far away they are from the target.
So the team are confirming that the arm is in motion, so they're starting the process of reach out toward it.
You can see the arm is approaching the Cygnus. And again, the camera is looking at that little black target, but the end effector itself is going to capture that larger grapple pin, the sort of gold circle with the target in the middle, down on the bottom.
And the team reporting that the arm is about 3 or 4 meters away from Cygnus right now.
This is when I try not to think about the fact that they're both going 17,500 miles an hour. And so Koichi will be confirming to Mike, you know, I see a good rate. You look like you're on track. Mike will be telling him, I'm going a little bit left. I'm pitching. I'm doing this. They're talking to each other. So they've sent the free drift command to the Cygnus, and that means the Cygnus will not fire any jets. They're not allowed to approach any closer than this until that free drift command has been executed, so we're on track. So now you can see the black target is getting bigger there, and the pin is getting bigger. Our graphic might not be perfect in terms of what the pin looks like. It probably looks a little bit more exact to the crew.
half meter away.
So just 10, 20 seconds away from capture. So they're over the pin. The canister is on top of the grapple fixture, waiting to lasso those snares.
We're just standing by for capture confirmation coming up here shortly. And at 5:08 a.m. Central Time, that is capture confirmed of Cygnus and the Orbital 1 flights. The Expedition 38 crew has successfully captured this cargo vehicle. Of course, great news for the Orbital Sciences team up in Dulles, Virginia. Their vehicle has been successfully captured by the crew on board the International Space Station on this first official flight for this company providing cargo to the ISS. The two vehicles were flying just to the northeast of Madagascar over the Indian Ocean. Again, capture confirmed at 5:08 a.m. Central Time.
There's
And the team there at Orbital Sciences celebrating the successful capture of their vehicle. Again, 5:08 a.m. Central Time. Cygnus has arrived at the station.
sigh of relief
Yeah.
for Orbital, relief for the crew. I mean, it's a big deal to do this.
So is the hard part over, or is there more to come? What is installation?
I would say, I mean, it's all stuff you need to do exactly right.
Yeah.
But basically, you know, capturing something that is free flowing in space right next to you, going so fast, both of you, with so much at stake. I mean, that is the tricky part, and what you are waiting for to start breathing again is capture confirmed, and that's for the team on the ground and for the team on board.
Yeah, let's talk about, you know, it always looks so slow and like a slow ballet, and it's not at all.
It goes by pretty fast, and you know, it's something you train and you train, you practice and practice, and that's what it comes down to, is just, you know, having it all happen because you've practiced it so many times.
Yeah, we were looking at that, and we are good with it. Thanks for the report, Hopper.
Okay, and I'd like to say congratulations to Orbital and the Orbital 1 team. And also I'd like to say congratulations to Gordon Fullerton's family. I think it's quite a testament to his career in the Air Force and with NASA, and all the things he's contributed to this country, and it certainly reflects on the support that they've given him throughout those years as well.
Great words. Gordo is an American hero.
And finally, I would like to say I've been up here on station for about 3.5 months, and I've seen 2 orbital vehicles in that time, and I think that's very impressive. So congratulations to everyone.
Thanks, Hopper.
Mike Hopkins there giving some words of congratulations to the Orbital team. Of course, this is the second orbital vehicle he has seen since he's been on board the space station after Orbital's first test flight back in September. That was right after Hopkins had gotten up there. He was a brand new crew member whenever that vehicle had arrived, and now here's the second one. You heard him call the name of Gordon Fullerton. That is what this vehicle is named after. The first one was named after G. David Lowe. Both of them are former NASA colleagues and employees who went on to serve pretty critical roles in the development of these vehicles.
And
That's right. Gordo was not we call him Gordo. Gordon Fullerton was not. He wasn't an orbital employee, but he worked closely with the orbital folks at Edwards as a test pilot when they developed and flew the Pegasus air-launched rocket from the West Coast. He flew the B-52 that dropped the first few Pegasus rockets, and then he flew chase for many of the flights that they flew from their own L-1011 aircraft.
Yeah.
And so, this is an astronaut colleague. He's an orbital colleague. He's a test pilot, and it's pretty neat to see his name on a vehicle like this.
It's an honor for his family.
I really like the fact that Orbital names their vehicles after some of the people that really basically are part of the history of the space program. That the people are the history of the space program. None of this happens without individual people, and Gordo Fullerton is certainly one of them.
Yeah. So we are just standing by here to see what the crew will do next. They're not supposed to begin installation until 6:40 a.m. Central Time. So we're trying to get a sense of whether that will happen earlier or as planned.
I was going to say that they've grappled the Cygnus. They actually need to take a little breath, and everybody down here is just going to collect themselves and basically switch modes and get on to the next serious operation, which is to then take the Cygnus, which is grappled, and attach it to Node 2 on the space station. And that involves, again, a rendezvous, a docking, really, in that they need to come in exactly in the center. We've got a camera that's looking out of Node 2, and as they bring the Cygnus over the hatch there, you'll actually be able to see if it's exactly lined up or not, and they'll get it closer, closer, closer. And then there are latches that reach out, and when they're within range, that when they give the command, will reach out and draw the Cygnus in. We drive 16 bolts, so 4 on each side, so we were actually bolting that module to the space station and then doing a series of kind of tedious pressure checks. We're trying to make sure, there's a little space between the Cygnus that we just docked, or we just berthed, and the space station. We call it the vestibule. It's like the front hall, almost. It's as if you drove a moving truck up to your house, right up to the door, right up to the loading dock there. And we want to make sure that the front hall has good pressure before we open the hatch to the vehicle, to the Cygnus. And that all takes a couple hours. So we'll be probably berthing here in the next, hour or two. It's a long, slow process because you have to move slow. If you're moving in the wrong direction, you want to be able to stop. Yeah. So it'll be berthing and then opening the hatch. I'm not sure that we're opening the hatch today. It's not scheduled, and it really depends how quickly everything else goes. I
think if they were talking about if they move quickly like they've been doing, they'll try to go ahead and get it done today and at least get the Ants in space experiment out because they need to go ahead and get that set up. But if not, then they'll do it tomorrow as planned.
And I think it'll move pretty fast. This is a very experienced crew, both